Easier.
It did.
Oh, it's but it's not over here.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the SOE broadcast for Magic the Gathering Tactics. Sorry for the kind of choppy start there, but we keep getting signs held up and then taken down and held up and taken down and such. My name is Mark Tuttle. I'm the executive producer for Magic the Gathering Tactics.
I'm Chuck Kallenbach. I'm the lead designer for Magic the Gathering Tactics. Hello.
And we're going to show you some cool stuff today, talk about some things that are coming up, and more importantly, we're going to tell you about what's coming up in our first expansion release for Magic the Gathering Tactics. So, let's get started by talking about some of the cool things that we've been doing over the last couple of months. Let's see the slide. So, one of the big things that we did in the last several months was responding to player feedback about talents in Tactics. A couple of weeks ago, we patched in the first talent revamp. Chuck, tell us all about it.
The old talent system had a lot of things we call procs, chances for things to happen, and they became very unbalancing. They were very, if you got lucky and they procced, you were in great shape, and otherwise you weren't. So we instituted a bunch of new talents, and all the talents have costs. You'll notice you have to lose a card to do this or spend your turn to do that. So that's a system of balancing the talents against each other and just balancing the whole system so it's fair.
Right. And if you haven't gotten into the talents yet, maybe you're watching this and learning about the game for the first time, as you play the in-game campaigns and missions, you gain experience points, and that gives you points that you can come in here and you can spend in the talent trees. What's really cool about the Magic Talents, too, is the fact that you can spend them across colors. So if you're playing multiple colors, is that a good strategy?
Yeah, most people do because it's too easy to find your white deck is having trouble with people that have protection from white or whatever. So most people, I think, play two colors, at least one color with a splash, as we call it.
All right, let's check out the next slide. You owe me $1, by the way.
Oh.
All right, Avatar Creator. So the Avatar Creator, this is something that from the very beginning, when we launched Magic the Gathering Tactics, you could log into the game, you could create an avatar, you would create your starter spell book. We had 3 different spell books that you could create. People wanted to try the other spell books. We didn't have the ability to go back into the flow and try it again. Just last week, I believe, is when we patched this in, and we've changed that whole system for you. Now, you go in here, you can pick one of the 3 currently available avatars. We've got the Enchantress, who's the chick with the staff. We've got the Sword Mage, who's the kind of buff guy with the crooked sword. And then we've got the Wizard, who's the shorter guy that's got the mace. The cool thing about this system is once you select it, now you can come over here and you can select the different colors that you want this guy to be dressed as. This doesn't have any effect on...
No effect on gameplay.
On gameplay, right. Right now it's using the 5 colors of Magic. Then you come over here and you can select one of the different spell books, and we've changed this up a little bit too.
There used to be 3 spell books. They were all 2-color spell books, and now there are 5 1-color spell books. So when you make a choice here, you're making something of a commitment, and you're learning something about the way that color works. If you pick the white spell book, you're going to learn how the white spells work together.
All right. The best part about it is, as we said, you can come back into this flow, choose another avatar, choose a different spell book. The cool thing is we're working on new avatar models that you'll be able to select, and we've got some really cool ones coming up, which will launch somewhere around the launch of Set 2, which we'll tell you about in just a minute. But a lot of people have been asking, hey, can we get some new avatars? Absolutely. Those are on the way, and they're very, very cool. All right, next. So something else that we've been doing, and this with our good friends over at Wizards of the Coast, is with the release of Innistrad, which is the latest release for the Magic trading card game in fine full-line gaming stores near you. In certain packs, select packs, it's randomized, you will find this code card for Magic the Gathering Tactics. This has a code on it, and by the way, we're pixeling out this code, right? We're not?
That's okay.
That's all right. You enter that code, and you get the Serra Avenger, which is something that we let you see in the client a couple of months ago with a lock on it, and didn't really tell you how you were going to be able to get it. Now you can log in the code, get that, and then you can hop into the store, and you can purchase additional. And we've been playing with this spell forever.
It's really good. Every time I go on live, I say, I can't use my Serra Avengers, but now I can.
All right. So that is out there. Go check out Innistrad. When you get one of the code cards, enter it, and unlock a brand new figure. So it's kind of cool. All right. Set 2. This is something that a lot of people have been asking about, and we're going to use this to finally tell you what it's called. Set 2 is officially titled Magic the Gathering Tactics Secrets of Terraria.
Yay!
Now, Chuck, where does that take us?
Terraria is another continent on Dominaria. Dominaria is where the first set of missions took place. And there's going to be a story involving some cache of Thran artifacts that were discovered from the Thran Empire. There's going to be a battle for control of prototype war constructs. A lot of, like the Thran Eviscerator. I think you guys have seen that. More things like that, bigger and nastier looking.
Okay, next. So let's talk about the set size itself. So obviously, and we'll just lay this out right now. Yes, we're very late on this. What we want to do with this set is we want to deliver a full-size set. One of the things we hear a lot is there's not enough spells. There's not enough spells, not enough figures. It's hard to build a lot of different types of spell books. Right. We wanted to give you as full of a set as possible. So what do the numbers look like on this, Chuck?
Right now, and everything is provisional numbers. We're still working on things, but we're looking at 65 figures and about 100 spells.
That's a lot.
So that's very close to the size of the first set.
All right, that's very good. All right, so let's show you some of the things that you'll actually see in Secrets of Terra CR. So what we're going to show you here, these are what we call character turnarounds. These are JPEG images of the characters that have already been created. These are 3D models of the characters as you'll see them in the set. First one, very recognizable to Magic fans, the Darksteel Colossus.
The Darksteel Colossus, he's from M10. He's got trample and indestructible, and basically this one goes to 11. He's
Yes.
yeah, he's in cost 11, and he's a 110, and he's a beatdown guy.
Next. Oh, you skipped one. All right.
All right.
Vampires seem to be a popular topic in this room today.
Yes, they were. This is the Ascendant Evan Carr. He's a legendary vampire.
He doesn't sparkle.
No, he doesn't.
Sorry.
He flies. He's a very cool guy. He gives a
How
boost.
does he see where he's flying? Look at that.
He just turns his whole body.
All right.
He flies. He gives a boost to all of your black creatures and a minus to all non-black creatures on the board. So he's good stuff.
So all of you guys that are playing vampires right now, and we know who you are, this is one more to add to that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Next. Ooh, this is the Aether Adept.
The lovely Aether Adept, yes. She's, again, from M10. We have figures and spells from everything from 5th edition all the way up to M12. She is basically unsummoned with feet. When she shows up, she unsummons a creature. And she's already very popular in the TCG environment.
Right. Okay, next. Now, we wanted to throw this one in there. This is one of the cool things about Magic the Gathering Tactics is we get to add our own characters, our own spells, our own situations into this Magic multiverse. This is something that we showed you a couple of months ago in kind of a wireframe form. This is the Alpha Minotaur, and we wanted to show you this as the red character that we're going to spoil today because of the mechanic that's tied to him, which is exclusive to Tactics.
Yes, he has Charge, which is a mechanic that I think we talked about before, but basically it lets a creature take its turn and move all the way across the board as far as it can go in a straight line.
And you were going to demonstrate that, right?
And make an attack. Yes, I'm going to charge right now. No, I'm not going to charge.
Charge the camera!
So this is the Alpha Minotaur. He's kind of like the Minotaur boss, and there's a couple more Minotaurs in the set.
So what, does he give bonuses to the others then?
He does.
Ooh, good. All right, next please. All right, the Ondu Giant.
Ondu Giant, he's a big guy. He's green. He generates 1 mana when he enters the battlefield, which means that's like getting extra mana at the beginning of your turn. Generating mana is a mana that's going to stay around. So next time your Planeswalker comes up, you're going to get 1 more green mana, and that's going to go on for the rest of the game.
Great. Okay, good. That's a good green theme. All right, what else we got? Next, please. This is one of my favorites, just because I like kind of the Aztec-y look to this guy. This is the Nova Cleric from White.
Nova Cleric, very, very cheap guy. He's a 10/20, which is good for 1 white, and you can sacrifice him with a little cost to destroy enchantments. He's kind of like a walking Tempest of Light.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. So next up now. So the cool thing, again, as I was saying about us being able to create some things, these are some other characters that we've added to the game. But we wanted to show you what the 2D art looks like. This guy over here, and this is going to be kind of dark probably, but we'll put this up and spoil this so you guys can see this. This is called the Flesh Crafter. And he's doing all kinds of horrible things to a zombified corpse here. So I bet you can guess what color he's from.
He's black.
Yes, he is. So very dark arts kind of thing right there. And then this is kind of bright and green and full of life. And this is the Wandering Elf.
Wandering Elf.
Yeah, and she's going to be very cool as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll create 3D figures that are new that you haven't seen before.
We already have created them, but we're not showing right now. All right, next, please. All right, so let's talk about some of the spells now. Those were some figures from the set. Here are some of the spells that you'll see.
So this 2D art you may recognize. This is Celestial Dawn, an enchantment, a white enchantment that makes all of your mana white, all your spells and permanents are white, and all the mana symbols on your cards become white, which should get the Johnnies in the crowd excited because it makes some interesting combo possibilities.
Right, okay, next. This is good.
This is Eradicate, a black sorcery that gets rid of a creature and destroys basically every other copy of that creature anywhere, including corpses and other copies in your spellbook.
This would probably be a good card against Martial Coup.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, next. Eel Umbra.
This is Eel Umbra. It's an enchantment with flash. It gives a little bonus to stats, and it is Totem Armor, which is an enchantment that once it goes on a creature, once the creature dies, the Totem Armor is destroyed, and the creature stays alive.
Okay.
We got a couple of those in the set.
Right. All right, next. This is a good one. If you're playing against the Black Lotus deck or spellbook and you're tired of it.
Yes, right. This is Detonate. It's a sorcery. It's a red sorcery that blows up artifacts on a planeswalker. It does damage for each artifact.
Right. Okay. Next. Okay. Ooh, this is interesting.
All right.
Because this opens a can of worms here, folks.
Yeah, it does. This is Living Wish. This is this guy evidently wanted the horn thing. That was his wish. That was what he wanted. Living Wish. The wishes from Magic, if you're not familiar with them, they are cards that let you get spells from outside the game and add them to your cast bar. So this is one of a cycle of spells that it's going to enable you to. Actually, it's kind of like a mini sideboard that you can react to.
Or
during
it's kind of like a giant sideboard.
Well, it's a giant sideboard. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a wish card.
Okay. What's next? Okay. All right. So 2 shots here. We've had some questions about whether there will be new campaigns and missions in Secrets of Terraria. Absolutely. So looking at this one here, this is a screenshot from one. You'll see this is Ajani is the opposing planeswalker here. And you'll notice also some new pieces. What's going on in this piece here?
Well, you can see back here there's some giant gear things, which kind of ties into our Thran Empire theme and ancient artifacts. And there are also some giant colossal things here, which I don't know if you can see the highlight around them, but you can tell that they're not quite props. And actually, when you get close to these guys,
Don't tell them what happens.
things happen.
Bad things happen.
Things happen.
Don't walk close to them.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's very good. All right, and another shot from one of the missions as well. This one, kind of a typical looking background. We've got some of the planets back here, which you're not going to be able to get to unless you have a flyer or a ranged guy. But what's important is look at what's happening here. Attack value and health value on this piece, which is not a planeswalker or spellcaster.
Yeah, this is just a guardian in the scenario, and he's got a lot of power. So that's just a sample of the kind of things you're going to have to face.
Right, so he's got an attack of 100. So that's some of the cool stuff that we're working on right now. The team is knee deep in Secrets of Terraria. So let's talk about release. And this is the big one here. This is slated now to release the first week of December. And I know everybody's groaning right now because they've had to wait for a while anyways. But again, we wanted to give you a full set. We're pounding our way through this. All the spell work is done. Really what we're doing right now is just polishing up the animations and we'll be ready to go. What I can tell you is this. Starting late next week, through the forums and through Facebook, the fine folks at SOE Community is going to be helping us with regular weekly spoils of spells and figures leading all the way up to the release of Secrets of Terraria. Right, so every week you're going to get like a new spell and a new figure. We're going to have articles from the designers. He doesn't know that yet, but we're going to have all kinds of stuff for you to see, and we'll keep you guys interested as it's moving along. All right.
And
so
I think we have some more updates planned too on the lines of when we had the talent update and when we had the avatar update with the new spellbooks.
Yep.
We have some more things in mind for streamlining the client and adding some new features.
yeah, we'll show you some of those too. Next, please. All right. So coming up, this is October, so Halloween is on the way. And Magic has all kinds of great Halloween-type stuff. So we have a terrific Halloween promo for you guys coming up at the end of this month. Now, this might look familiar to some of you out there.
Some people call Halloween All Hallows Eve.
That's right. That's right. So
For example.
we do have a promo that we're going to be offering up to you guys. It's going to be really, really easy to get and really easy to get multiple copies of. All right, but I can't tell you more about that.
You guys can guess what it's going to do based on the TCG card, but we've basically changed that. So we're doing something different.
Well, it would be interesting to see on the forums what their guess is what the game text for this
Yes.
might be.
Yes.
Okay? Maybe in case they come up with something better than we have and we just steal it.
That's right.
We wouldn't do that. Next. Now, this is really exciting. Now, I want you to let this sink this in real quick, guys. This is something that the players have been asking for since we launched the game, and that is player-to-player trading. And within the next couple of months, we're going to patch this in. And this is going to cost nothing. This will be absolutely free to players. So what this will be an online trading mechanism. So if Chuck and I are both online at the same time, we'll initiate a trade. I'll initiate a trade. He'll accept it. We'll come into this screen right here. Chuck, you want to kind of point our way through the screen here?
If this is my collection here, this is my trade offer, this is Mark's trade offer here. We have a chat window down here where we can talk it over. If we need to look at a card, we just click it and it's going to show up over there in that window. So everything here, you can search through your collection with text input or search by colors to find the cards you're looking for. So you drag things and double click them back and forth, and once you've agreed down here, you hit the go button. And the trade happens.
And what we're really implementing here is it's a system like, if you're at your local store and you've got all your cards and your buddy has all his cards, you're sitting there just kind of flipping through the box doing your trades. This is going to be a great feature. I think you guys are really going to like this. This will be your online trade. The auction house will stay in the game. It'll stay the same. that'll be your offline trade mechanism. So, and this is coming in just a couple of weeks. So we're very far along on this, and this is kind of this cycle we've gotten into of giving you guys a little thing every couple of weeks here as we lead up to set 2. Okay, next please. All right, Q&A time. Now these are some questions that were asked us by some of the fine folks on the forums, and if you have a question and you want to input it through the Stick'em site, you can do that as well, and if it's a good question, the ladies in the back here, which they do exist, you might not believe it, but they will shout it out to us. So, a couple of questions here. Shaybot said, can we get a few more Set 2 spoilers? We gave you a bunch. Again, starting late next week, we're going to start pushing more out to you. Wayer, will there be additional campaigns for Set 2, or is that a separate project?
Absolutely, there will.
We answered that as well, too. Jameric01, I know reworking talent seems to be an ongoing process, but are there any plans to do something with green or black?
Yes, we're getting rid of both of them. No, we're not getting rid of both of them. Sure, it's something that we evaluate constantly. We take the feedback in the forums, and we watch what happens in tournaments, and we watch what people are playing. And you can see that we already made one adjustment with one spell. So we'll see.
All right. Zilbus asks, this is great, what steps are you taking to make certain that Set 2 is released 100% bug-free?
I can tell you that everything that is released by SOE is 100% bug-free, and any team here will tell you that. So we're trying very hard.
Don't turn your head. I don't want anybody to see your nose growing.
We're trying very hard.
It's a tough process. But the nice thing about this is we've been working on Set 2 for so long that it's coming along nicely.
Yeah.
Brains asks, with the release of Set 2, will any spells from Set 1 be getting a buff? Will any spells from Set 1 be getting nerfed? I can tell you this. I did, at Fanfare, which you should go to Fanfare, kids. At Fanfare, I dropped a huge clue there, and nobody picked up on it. I said that there is one Set 1 figure that's going to be getting a royal makeover.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody's picked up on it. So, to answer your question, yes, there will be a buff.
Very few.
Yeah.
There's a couple cards that don't work quite the way we want them to. But in terms of buffing and nerfing, there's not going to be a lot of that going on.
Nerfed, yeah. All right, so moving along. Mistress Ophelia. We love Mistress Ophelia. I didn't want to call out any individual players, but she is a force for good in the game and on the forums, and she's wonderful.
And we don't plan to hire her, which is another...
We don't plan to hire her. Yeah, that question was asked. She says, can we have colors for our avatars aside from the 5 mana colors?
No, there are only 5 colors in the world.
We'll be able to have more colors than just the 5.
Oh, I hear there's like oranges and purples.
Yes. So yeah. Shadowcran says, Shadowcran's a good one too. Are there plans for putting terrain or other tactical changes into tactics in the future? Well, we're always trying to work tactical gameplay into the game.
We talk about a lot of things. If you mean like a terrain that you could place somewhere, it's been discussed.
Mm-hmm. He had a couple more questions. The answers were yes, no, maybe, brown, October, and spinach. Oh no, that was a lie. He asks about spectator mode. No, not at this time. Mentoring option. He asks about. We have a really interesting design that we want to try to implement. We have a great idea for that. It's a great idea for that, yeah. Will problems with the chat be addressed? Yes, it's on the whiteboard. We know there's some issues with chat, and we'll get to that. Starter Spellbook only tournament. We're actually having a lot of discussions right now on alternate tournament formats that we really want to put in. So, yeah, that's definitely on the
We'd like that. And it's also a possibility that the composition of the starters might be adjusted somewhat for balance purposes.
Yes. Izen asks, is it possible to make an improvement in the playability of Avatar of Woe?
It is possible, but it's not likely.
People disagreed. Some people said it was just great, and some people said they don't like it.
But cards when cards are released, when spells are released, they kind of have their own value. We don't want to mess with that too much.
Okay, let's see. All right, will the championship tournaments? Yeah, we're talking about that as well. Tournament formats, we talked about that. A bunch more questions here. We're getting the wrap notice here. I do want to point out a couple things, folks. Jump on the forums. Hop in the game. We're getting better at hopping in and talking to the players. And one more thing I have to point out here is that today's webcast is brought to you by European Double Station Cash, October 7th through the 10th, because the Station Cash cards are going to be available now in Europe. If you purchase one of those cards and enter it from the European stores, you will be able to get Double Station Cash October 7th through the 10th.
Do you have time for one question?
Do we have time? You tell me. Yeah. Do we have time for a question?
Sure.
Are there any plans to add modes of gameplay that have objectives other than beat the other guy to death, like capture the flag or King of the Hill?
Well, we kind of have that now. We have activate objects and we have things like that. But yeah, sure, any kind of thing like that. What?
I wonder if that means 2-player.
Could mean 2-player.
I don't know. Obviously, it's a possibility.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about 2v2, and that's something that we want to do as
that
well.
too.
All right, so are we done? We are done. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Secrets of Terra CR is coming soon. I know wasn't going to say soon, but I just did it anyways. We'll see you on the forums, and we'll see you in game. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot.